Hi, welcome back to the Kayla Ambrose Show. I'm your host and your travel guide to the other side, Kayla Ambrose, here with my best friend, Nikki Case.
Hi, everybody.
And we're back to talk about a project, a business, an endeavor, a life choice that we've adopted together, which is our love of crystals, which we've turned into journey bracelets. Dun, dun, dun.
Woo.
Our
I love
bracelet,
that you call it a life choice.
it's a life choice, it is. Our bracelets are energy infused, custom designed. We create them with specific intentions to assist you on your journey. Each bracelet is made according to the energy of the stones in it, and the bracelets are stacked in a certain order. And that order helps the bracelets communicate with each other and function at an even higher level to magnify the energy. And so we create this process step by step in that order. And in doing so, it activates your aura and your chakras, all your energy fields, get uh, your abilities to visualize and materialize and manifest, going and flowing. So whatever you're dreaming about doing or being, becoming, achieving, this bracelet's going to help you do it. And that was kind of a passion for us that we wanted to do. We wanted each gemstone to interact with you and them to build on each other's and create a really powerful, dare I call it, energy grid that works with you as you explore your spiritual path. You're on a journey. We're here to take the journey with you. And so we're doing these podcasts, one for every bracelet to kind of give you a little of the insight into the skill, the talent, the flair that is Nikki and Kayla. Gemstones, extraordinaire girls, one geologist, crystal lover, cat loving, yoga doing Nikki, and one psychic, aura seeing, dog loving author named Kayla. And this is where we're at, right, Nick?
I love it. I love those descriptions. Those were pretty spot on.
Yeah, that's on our LinkedIn. That's our LinkedIn. And it keeps us off the streets. It keeps us, uh, fine-tuned and focused on these things. And so we're hoping that you enjoy these podcasts and come have a little laugh and a giggle with us as we cheerfully, joyfully, and hopefully respectfully explain our journey bracelets at Lavish Goods. And if you want to know, if you're thinking, what the hell are these girls talking about? Go to lavishgoods.com, check out our website, check out the bracelets, check out the spring collection, which we're talking about right now, with one of our newest designs, which is called Tickled Pink. Wow, I'm having deja vu, like that we've already talked about Tickle Pink.
Well, we did, I was sort of thinking the same thing because I was looking at some of the other things in our spring collection earlier today. And I think I was having some flashes back to our recent Instagram live that we did.
Is that what it is? Because I feel like we talked about this one.
Well, that's what my logical mind says, but the rest of me says, no, it could totally be deja vu.
Okay.
We've had this conversations in some other place
Say
and some other
anything?
time.
I'm going to mix this up.
I love it.
This is not a podcast about Tickle Pink. So we can check it after this podcast. And we're going to go straight into Gulf Coast Mermaid, which I meant to do the whole time, evidently. So remove the pink. Let's go into the mermaid.
Okay.
And what I love about Gulf Coast Mermaid, first of all, the colors, the movement, the water, the design. Mermaids are the queen of the sea. They're charming, they're captivating, they're mischievous, they're graceful, and they symbolize the merging of the earth and the water and the power of transformation between both of these things. You know, there's so much I could talk about with this bracelet. And it's funny because I'm in a really silly mood today. And so I'm just wondering, I wonder if mermaids are silly. Like sometimes they're represented as kind of serious, right? They're always looking off into the horizon and singing the song of their people. And they always seem so, I don't know, a little troubled sometimes, a little bit, right? just
Hmm.
longing for something. But I'm like, there's got to be fun mermaids that are just whims. There's got to be like Thelma the mermaid who's like, just down there like, girl, let me talk to you about my pearls. Let me tell you a story. I think mermaids need a bigger story because they're seen as just very sexy and very, kind of lost. I think they need more diversity. What do you think?
I agree. And in fact, when you were saying that, it sort of took me to, we've had this conversation before of, I think a lot of people have this mindset or this perception that if you are a highly spiritual person, that you're very serious, right? We meditate and we spend a lot of time reflecting and in introspection, and we're just very serious. And that is mutually exclusive from being silly and goofy and just being fun. And so when you were describing how mermaids are often depicted, it felt sort of parallel to me in that regard, that they are often shown, they're sort of forlorn, right? And they're looking off like, oh, where's my lost sailor man? And just things like that. And I think you're right. I think there's I was going to say a lot more depth, but that would be a deep ocean pun. We don't want to do that.
Oh,
um but I think there is a lot more to them. And I think, I mean, come on, you got that body, you got that beautiful fin. How can you not be fun and silly and be splashing around with that?
yeah, right. It's when you got a fin. I mean, the world is your oyster.
Ah, there's another one.
Um, but like maybe that was a 19th century mermaid because like they're just not on a rock anymore waiting for the man to come home. I feel like 21st
Agreed.
century mermaids are like kicking it out there, right? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's kind of what I feel. We named this one Gulf Coast Mermaid because we invented this business here on the Gulf Coast, and we want to pay homage to that and be like, hey, this is where it was created, where there's the beautiful Gulf waters. It's a very feminine body of water. It's very, green to blue to turquoise, depending on the day and what's going on in the water. It has beautiful white sugar sands, the palm trees. It's a beautiful place. And
Hmm.
so um, when you put this bracelet on, we're hoping you get that energy of that day at the beach, that day we all love that we remember. If you've been lucky enough, everybody's had that day at the beach or the day at the waterside that you're just like, this was a great day. And I want to feel that essence every day. And mermaids, they represent all that we're capable of becoming when we apply ourselves to things. They're lucky, and it said that, wearing anything about a mermaid is like a good luck charm. And we magnetized it with that energy of the mermaid, more about inviting you to be yourself, seek adventures, never get stagnant in one place, right? Go with the flow, challenge yourself to try new things and go new places. And that's kind of our 21st century mermaid ideals, I think, that we put into this bracelet, that you are going to set out on that new adventure and see the world from a different perspective and, all of those things. I just feel like we know so little about mermaids. Everybody just thinks about the Little Mermaid too, though, the movie, and things. And
Right.
there's gotta be, now I want to go write a book about
I
mermaids.
was going to say, I feel like there's a research paper or a book or a story or something is coming of this. I love it.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I don't think their story's really being told all the way. Mermaids are very intuitive and wise. They're empaths. They're in touch with the emotions of others. They bring inspiration and beauty, and they bring transitions in life and open the wearer up to exploring their true desires. And mermaids are very good with desire. They get desire. They know what their desires are. Um, they're collectors. They like to collect pretty things.
Mm.
Um, they collect pearls. They collect, all kinds of beautiful things in the ocean. So if you're drawn to this bracelet, I think it's going to take you on that journey where you learn about what you like and what you don't like about yourself, about life, about others. It'll maybe even get you to review your home, what your clothes are like, what your decor is like. What are you collecting? What do you like to keep? wanting to change. I feel like it's a real bracelet of transformation. Um, you're not just going to wear it and stay the same or feel the same. I think also you're going to feel more effervescent, right? More bubbly and lively and vivacious, and you don't want to be a mermaid. But at the
I
same,
agree. Like I think, you know, when this the energy with this is very, I love that effervescent. I think that's a great word for that. I just like I see like the bubbles coming up in the water and just sort of that sparkly, bubbly, like I don't want to say woohoo because that sounds like party girl. I don't mean that quite, but just that effervescent kind of energy and um just fun and whimsical. And I love that.
yeah, I think, sometimes it is party girl. Sometimes it's fun and bubbly and positive, and sometimes it's just blowing those bubbles of laughter and love and giddiness and all those things.
Mhm.
Um, there's just so much more to the mermaid. And this is our first mermaid bracelet, but I don't think it'll be our last. I
I
think
agree.
we'll bring some other ones into being. And this one was, of course, like with the Gulf Coast, but I think there's going to be an Atlantic one, probably a Pacific one. And I bet they have complete different personalities too, because the Gulf is so divine feminine, the way it curves. It's
Hmm.
like the womb there shape, versus the Atlantic is very, cold and choppy and more of I would call it more of a masculine energy.
Hmm.
So that would be interesting to try to capture the energy of each of those bodies of water and put them into the bracelet.
I agree. Like I'm just envisioning because I completely agree with what you said there. Like the Gulf is is very to me it's a very calming and a very soothing body of water and sort of ecosystem. Um, Whereas, as you mentioned, the East Coast it's colder, it's choppier, it's rough, and not in a bad way. It's just it's a very different energy. And then even thinking about like the Pacific, you know, we've got speaking geologically, you know, we've got the Ring of Fire and lots of active volcanoes and subduction zones where there's just tremendous transformation, like very active transformation going on. You know, birth, rebirth, and death, and like that could be a really amazing journey. I like the idea of that.
Yeah, I could see us doing that with the different oceans.
Hmm.
Interesting too, like in our spring collection here, we also did Atlantis Explorer, which
Hmm.
we're basing Atlantis off the coast here, Bermuda and Florida and all of that, where a lot of people say Atlantis is and draw the line across into Atlanta. So uh, we are exploring a lot of the ocean, it seems like, with this spring collection.
Hmm.
And so I'm all over the place with mermaids today. I should say, with all serious now with this bracelet, it really was made to evoke that energy of a mermaid and left a little bit open to interpretation instead of just what um, some people have said mermaids have been. And when I was young, I used to go rewrite books in the library. I'd get in trouble, but I would find all the mythologies and start editing them. And one of the first ones I did was Medusa, which if you know Medusa, she's got the hair, the snake hair. That was times early days before conditioner. So I think, she was just given a hard rap there for some curly hair she had. But sure, we'll go with it with the snakes. And so I would edit these books and say, snakes are wisdom. That's what they identified with back then. This was, an ancient being of wisdom. And when things started to change and we went into a new patriarchal age, there was a lot of putting down all the feminine archetypes and goddesses. And she was one of them. And so I was like 9, 10 years old in the library rewriting this. Same way with the mermaids and the fairies, I would be editing those books and saying, they're not all, there were a lot of books about fairy tales and fairies were bad and dangerous. And I'd be writing, they're not all bad. There's other stories. There's things that happen there. That was during the worst time when they were being hunted. And trying to explain these things just like a historian would explain about, the war or whatever. So I really am quite passionate about trying to explain some of these archetypes we have here and really what they are. And so with this bracelet, we left a little bit open, not interpreted, so that you could think about what it means to you and put that in there. The same way you should be doing that in your life. No one should be telling you who or what you are and how you should be or act. This is a bracelet of breaking free. This is a bracelet when you're ready to go to uncharted lands, adventures, swim past the safe shore, take the anchor and weight off yourself, float, go find out what it means to just truly be and see the world from a new perspective. And so we love to talk about the fun parts and the colorful parts of these bracelets and all of those things, but each of them are made with higher knowledge at work, with the wisdom that we're trying to help each person create a new part of themselves, go further, evolve, go up, level up to the next place, and what you're going to do with that. And this is what our intention is with every bracelet, to help you see and perceive and let go and grow. And so mermaid is just another example of doing it while having the fun of wearing a mermaid bracelet, dancing in the sun, going to the beach, enjoying life, being a water baby who loves all those things. So this is our mixture. And so to make this really special formula, we started out with African turquoise, which Nikki and I were talking about this turquoise. It's just a little bit of a different hue and color, and that's why it's identified as African turquoise. What do you think about that stone?
I really love this. I know I always say that. People can guess what I'm going to say before I say it. Um, I think turquoise in and of itself is beautiful. The fact that this is this African turquoise, so the hue, as you mentioned, the hue is slightly different. This is more my sort of vibe of turquoise. I like this. It's a little more, there's like this a little bit more green to it and a little less of that more what people think of as traditional turquoise. I'm not quite sure how to describe that color other than to say turquoise. Um, but I feel like the color here just melds seamlessly with the other ones that we have in this bracelet. It just sort of that beautiful mixture of this earthy tone and this water at the same time, sort of that mixture of both energies, which just adds to the energy of the bracelet.
And those colors represent the sky and the ocean and the masculine and feminine energy. And the stone itself helps the wearer discover their purpose while they're here and create new energy and determination to go forth and create. So really creating and clearing the waters there to begin a journey. And next we go into Amazonite. My favorite Southern one to say, because I always want to be Amazonite. But such a stone of luck and good fortune allows the wearer's energy to feel smooth and tranquil. Um, it's a stone of universal love and acceptance, connects with the heart chakra, an element of water, bringing some emotional well-being there. What do you think about it, Nick?
Yeah, I think again, it just, Amazonite it's a very tranquil kind of a stone, especially in the combination that we have here. And I think that just continues to speak to that energy of the Gulf Coast, right? It is a more like this is a journey of transformation, and it's one that is going to be a little more gentle, maybe not quite as jarring, if that's the right word, as some things can be. And so this, this stone with that sort of peaceful energy, that tranquility just adds to that sort of gentleness of the transformation.
And then next is the Aquaterra agate, which
Mm.
is one of my favorites, really.
Yes, yes.
And Aquaterra means water and earth. So it's again showing that balance between land and the ocean, which the mermaid is always trying to balance. Maybe I love mermaids so much too because I'm a Capricorn, which is a sea goat. So
Hmm.
kind of the same thing, right?
Yep. Yeah.
That whole half in the water, half on the land.
Hmm.
I mean, there. I've got those kind of like horns on my head and goat eyes kind of look, and then that fins down there. It's very like earthy, strong. And then
Mm.
fluid to move around and change direction on a dime is what I think of that Capricorn symbol. So this stone, transforms negative energy into positive forms and situations. It connects with the wearer instantly and deeply within the auric body and works right away to restore the aura and attune the body to its highest vibration. And so it's such an amplifier. It heals the aura and then it amplifies the crystalline structure of the light body to restore hope and relieve stress and attract new adventures. Like it just does everything. It's like the one-stop shop rock, when you say, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, visually it's beautiful, energetically, it really is. It's stunning. And one of the things that I love about the stone when we first found it was as I was stringing these, looking at each individual bead, and they look like little miniature earths to me, like little globes. And, like with the blue water, and then you've got this sort of swirling in there of sort of these light browns and tans, and it looks like little bits of earth. And to me, it's also this visual reminder of like we're not alone, right? Like I'm seeing this little earth and um I'm not alone on that earth. There's other people here with me. And we're all part of um an earth community, for lack of a better way to say it. And it's also sort of this reminder that we're bigger, at least to me, like I'm looking down at this little miniature earth, that we're bigger than what we are here, right? We're more than just our earthly body. That we could actually be out. This might be a little out there, but we could actually be outside of this earth looking down on it like we are looking down on that bracelet.
I love that. And then we threw in a natural geode druzy with some beads. And if you've listened to any of these podcasts, you hear us talk about geodes and how they're a symbol of the divine feminine, um, and the druzy and what it does. So, oh, sorry, there's a little feedback coming through. I could hear someone else talking. Feedback coming through here. Oh, definitely coming through. Can you mute for a second, Nick?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, unmute. Yeah, if you can maybe shut your door, Nick, I'm hearing
Got
feedback.
it.
Okay. And so those natural geode beads, they align with the heart chakra and they help connect the higher chakras to the ground, and which makes it a really amazing, hardworking crystal and vibrates on all color frequencies. So the druzy is the gateway there to all of that, to the spiritual realms. And then we repeat it again with the aquaterra agate, and our last stone is Mal's chalcedony, which is a stone of new beginnings. It's also said to help protect the wearer from environmental irritants and develop strength for the soul with the ability to face challenges. What are your thoughts about Mal's chalcedony?
Um, would you believe me if I said I don't really care for this? No, I'm just kidding. I really love all of our stones. Um, this is one I love the the softness of the colors, um, which again just speaks to like the gentleness of this particular bracelet. Um, and I think the placement of being sort of the last quote unquote the last bracelet in the journey. I think is just perfect, right? Because it helps to release um, what we need to release at the end of that journey. And again, it's another calm and peaceful stone, and just a really beautiful way to sort of to end that journey before you go into your next one.
Absolutely. And that, in a nutshell, is our Gulf Coast Mermaid bracelet. Well, this has been an interesting little podcast here. We've had a little journey, we've had a little talk, we had a little laughs, we've had a little bleed through of sound, and that's just how it goes, all in a day's work. Um, we roll these podcasts out pretty quickly. So there's not a lot of editing that goes on. So you're going to hear sometimes little background noises and flubs and things like that. And we hope it doesn't disrupt your listening pleasure too much, and that you laugh along with us and enjoy our sense of humor and camaraderie here as we're building a little journey soul tribe. So check us again out next week for another podcast and all your favorites: iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, also on lavishgoods.com. You can listen to the show there. Thanks so much.
Bye.